Now, these are the kind of things. So how many other agencies of this federal government is throwing in $100 million here or $50 million there to Planned Parenthood? Yet and still, these dedicated people that run these women's clinics that are trying to discourage as many women as they can from getting this procedure and telling them, we'll help you do what you can, but let's just have this baby. They get absolutely nothing from the federal government. They get none of our tax dollars. The only thing they get is through the efforts of people like yourself and people like me that will get out there and stand on the corner and say to people, this procedure is ghastly. If you think slavery was bad, this is just beyond the limits.
That's true. And, really the problem of abortion and other problems, whether it's, the casinos and the topless bars, everything else, these all lie at the door of the church.
That's right.
Church is doing diddly squat. All these things exist because of the cowardly, apathetic, quote-unquote Christian church.
That's
overall, now there are a lot
right.
of churches and pastors
Yeah.
who are preaching God's word, who are doing a lot. But
Right.
overall, the Church of Jesus, the Church of America, is doing nothing. And all these problems lie. And we're called to take a stand. We're called, we've got the truth and we need to share that with people. And unfortunately, Christians, I like to say Christians woke up after 9/11, but they're still walking around in their pajamas. They need to have their running shoes on.
Yeah.
And jogging pants on, and let's go. We're going for the long haul. We're going to run this marathon, and we'd rather just take the occasional, once in a while walk. And we need to be out there boldly standing and speaking out. And people think, well, what can I do? What can one person do? Well, look what one person did with a couple lawyers and the spirit of Satan.
Yes.
What? Took prayer out of school. So
Yes.
how many of us
Right.
are there who quote unquote say, I'm not going to patronize this business because Kroger, Whole Foods, and others who are supporting gay pride events in Detroit. Well, boycott them. How many of us are Christians?
Mm-hmm.
You need to call them and email them and say, because they're not met with any resistance. See, people, the organizations and those who support abortion, whatever, are not getting any resistance. It's like one school bully in a school of 5,000. If they don't get any resistance, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
You know it. Our co-host Janice has a question for you. If go ahead, Janice.
Michael, this
Yes.
is Janice Daniels. Good morning, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm really so happy and proud to know you. I'm wondering, Michael, has there been any information that's come to light in terms of how much money exactly Planned Parenthood is getting from the sale of these body parts? How much money have they gotten in total? Because that seems to be a large source of money as well, and nobody's talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. But I mean, like any other issue, if people don't like the issue, they'll speak out and give it more importance. So I don't think the dollar amount really matters, does it? If we were selling dead parts of cats and dogs that were being neglected and whatever, the media would cover all that, and people would say, who cares what the dollar amount? That's wrong. I don't know what the dollar amount is, but obviously they were stating that, and it's just coming to light. Now, they're really covering what they normally do. People are focusing on that instead of what they do as well, and that's abortion. So I think, regardless of the dollar amount, they just need to be exposed. This needs to be kept.
Well, I think the dollar amount is important because of the amount of influence that money can buy.
Oh yes, and
Well, no, I
you can see
understand. I understand.
You
Yeah,
can see
I don't.
you can see the amount of influence that they have with money, because you can see they've turned the issue of this ghastly these three films. They've even gotten it now where there's a judge that issued an order not to show any more of these things. But listen, I know that you are in a hurry this morning, so give us how people can get in touch with you and tell us about your next coming project.
Well, the next big huge project is coming up in 3 weeks in Royal Oak at the annual Woodward Dream Cruise for the annual day for the classic cars, and that is Saturday, August 15. It's the third Saturday in August, and if anybody would like to join us, we could always use bold men and women who are not upset are not bothered by getting yelled at and people flipping them the birdies and so on. if that doesn't bother you, come on out, and the Lord can really use you. They can reach me at 248-894-5312. That is my direct cell number. 248-894-5312. And I would always appreciate some help. Really, I mean, I do it on my own. It doesn't bother me. It's just good. The only reason it's good to have somebody else with you once in a while is to be a witness, especially when the police bother you once in a while, or an individual will try to bother you, because there's strength in numbers.
Well, okay.
It really is.
Okay, we will be looking forward to seeing you out there, and I'm going to try my best to get out there and join you. So, thanks for calling in early this morning, getting up with us before you take care of your business out there. So, thanks again, and we will be looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay,
thank you, Michael.
Bye-bye.
And we are going to go to line one, and this is Bruce from Grosse Pointe. Good morning, Bruce.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, folks.
Good morning, Bruce.
Beautiful day. Hi, Janice. Thanks very much for everything you're doing, and I hope to hear a little bit more about what you've got planned for the following weekend after the Dream Cruise, because it sounds like it's going to be a big deal over in Sterling Heights, or in Warren, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil, you mentioned that or supposedly Michael had mentioned the idea that only 3% of Planned Parenthood services involve abortion. Well, that's a flat-out lie.
Yes.
I don't know if you might be referring to what was in the Free Press editorial yesterday.
Yes.
What's behind the attacks on Planned Parenthood? Well, the fact of the matter is the numbers are completely skewed in that regard, because, as I've mentioned before, according to the American Center for Law and Justice, they just blew that contention right out of the water. 94% of the services Planned Parenthood provides are indeed related to abortion. Now,
yes.
They say that there's cancer screenings and mammograms, that Planned Parenthood offers. Well, they don't do any of that.
Nope.
That's a bald-faced lie. And this is the kind of stuff that the media likes to propound to make our side look bad, to make us look like a bunch of extremists,
yes.
and a bunch of people who don't want to keep women barefoot and pregnant and send them back to the kitchen.
Yeah,
this is disgusting, guys, and this is the kind of stuff we have to fight.
Yeah, and they have been very successful with that message. And here's the thing: that money that they get, in addition to I've got a list of things that I probably won't have a chance to get to this morning, but
right.
I'm gonna do that on the next show.
Okay.
There is a thing that I go back to 2011, 2012, where they were talking about this procedure where they're taking these fetal tissue, as they call it, and selling it. And
right.
I got a list of the amounts of money that they've been charging. This is 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Right.
Wow.
And I got it, but I probably won't have a chance to get it, but I will do it next week.
Well, this has been going on for years. This is not something that just suddenly suddenly came. Now, if there was not a market for this stuff, do you think that they would be interested in any of this if they couldn't make a buck here and there? They're making a lot of bucks, and like what you were referring to with Hillary. That's not surprising to me at all, because this woman, she just the other day was out there, practically screaming at the top of her voice how she's going to defend Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And Obama's not going to do anything about it. In fact, a couple of years ago, you may recall, he went to the Planned Parenthood convention, and he closed his remarks by saying, "God bless you."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that...
Yeah. Well,
okay, guys, this is just off the chart.
And Hillary is there's a paper trail going to her now. She's at Department of State. Why would Department of State be making a pathway for $100 million worth of funds to get into a group like Planned Parenthood? So, as I said, what about the Department of Commerce and all of these other ones? How much have they funneled into these people's coffers?
Yeah.
And,
that's a good question.
And then for a doctor, to be knee deep or shoulders, elbow, or eyeball deep
Several doctors.
Yeah, and then saying that she wants a Lamborghini.
So
we obviously know that there are big bucks in this thing, and she's shooting for a Lamborghini.
Yeah, don't you just feel sorry for this woman, guy? She's trying to keep up with the Joneses with the other directors in the state of California or wherever the heck she's from. This is just.
It's beyond words.
Yeah.
In fact, we have seen the mask of evil taken off the face of the liberals.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and that is the fact of it. And I believe that at the grassroots level, people who call themselves liberal don't really understand what liberalism has become. It has become the face of evil.
Right. Well, the classic liberal definition is freedom. Well, you can't have freedom without responsibility.
Right.
Otherwise, that's called licentiousness. We are in such a licentious society now. And like I was telling John McCullough the other day, we have seen the rise of a culture of death over the past 30 to 40 years, and nobody bats an eye. They just shrug their shoulders and say, "Oh well, let's go on to the next hot news story."
Well, Bruce,
you can't have that anymore.
I want to thank you for getting up early with us this morning. And
thanks a lot, guys. And I'll switch to the computer and listen to you then.
Yeah, and stay tuned because we have a very, very special guest coming up on the next half an hour. And thanks a lot, Bruce.
Okay, take care, guys. God bless. We love you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
thanks, Bruce.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Okay, folks, we are going to be taking a break in a minute, but I just wanted to say that we have a very special guest that's coming in this morning, and not coming in, but that'll be on our hotline in the next half an hour. And guess what we have? We have the Dell Meister himself sitting there with us.
It came right at a commercial break at that.
And if you would like to get on the conversation, that number is 734-822-1600. And come back on the other side, and we will get with our special guest. See you after the break.